Hey, how you doing? It's Dave Duford here at Buy Life Insurance for Burial, where I help people like you find quality life insurance and burial insurance wherever you live in the country. The purpose and topic of today's video is talking about burial insurance with no waiting period, and more specifically talking about rates and the secrets of how these plans and how we're going to reveal them to you. So most likely you're watching this video because you're concerned about getting burial insurance on yourself or a loved one, and you've seen all this stuff, maybe junk mail and TV ads, and you've heard that some of these plans don't cover you when you take out the insurance. And you're concerned about, you don't want to get a plan like that, and you want to see if there's something better available. If that describes you and what you're looking for, then you are at the right video. My job in this video today is to give and empower you with all the information necessary to figure out what burial insurance options out there do not have waiting periods, and give you an idea of how to qualify for them and what the prices and coverage options would be. So stick around. So let's start with a quick overview. I'm going to tell you about myself and my company, and also we're going to jump right in after that and tell you how burial insurance with no waiting period works. We're going to talk about why to get burial insurance with no waiting period, who can qualify for burial insurance with no waiting period, and then also discuss when the best time to get burial insurance with zero waiting period is. And then we'll talk about the rates, how to apply, and then the next steps. So my name is David Duford. I'm the founder and owner of BuyLifeInsuranceForBurial.com. I specialize in helping people throughout the country via the telephone and email apply for quality life insurance and burial insurance products. I've been licensed doing this since 2011, and since then have helped over 3,000 families with their life insurance needs. I'm also a published author. You can see one of my books below. It's the the official guide to buying final expense life insurance, and you can find it on Amazon. And I also own a large national agency. I recruit and train agents from coast to coast to help their own people in their own community with life insurance. And last but not least, I am married, and my fourth child at the filming of this video is well on her way. She'll be here any moment now. Okay. So let's answer the question, how does burial insurance with no waiting period work? So here is a breakdown of how burial insurance with no waiting period works. So most of the time, when somebody says burial insurance, if you really start to pry and ask them, what do you want? What do you want a policy to do for you? They're going to say, I want burial insurance that I can't outlive, or I don't have to have a waiting period, or I don't want to pay prices that keep going up. Well, that best defines a life insurance product called whole life insurance. So whole life insurance, the basic benefits are that the coverage never cancels because of age or health. So you pay the premium, and you know you can't outlive it. That's huge. The whole life lasts your whole life. So perfect description. Also, the premiums never increase. So what you're quoted on the front end for a premium on whole life insurance is locked in forever. So a lot of people like that who buy burial insurance because they're on a fixed income. They don't want to keep paying more and more and more with each passing year like a lot of other products. And ideally, and this is where the no waiting period comes in, ideally, if you can qualify for it, it's first day full coverage protection, whether you die from natural causes like cancer, stroke, heart attack, anything naturally related, or accidental. Doesn't matter how you go, you're fully covered. This is what people want in a burial insurance plan. So that's what they refer to. I want the no waiting period burial insurance. This right here, that's it. That's what you want. That's what most people are referring to. And when it's described this way, they're like, yeah, that's exactly what I want, because they don't want the alternatives where there's rate increases and cancellation of coverage at a future date. So who would purchase a burial insurance policy without a waiting period? So let me give you some examples of people and reasons why they would do so. Again, most obvious here is burial, right? Burial insurance. Well, burial insurance to cover burial, final expenses, is the primary reason someone buys burial insurance. They just don't want to burden a spouse or a child with a $10,000 burial or a multi-thousand-dollar cremation. They feel it is their obligation, they feel it is their responsibility to take a plan out to cover those things and not have to worry, is there going to be something there or not to cover those final expenses. Another reason people buy burial insurance is because they want to replace income. So maybe a portion of that is to pay off the burial, and then a smaller or an equivalent or larger amount of that policy is left behind to surviving spouse to offset the lost income from that deceased lover. So that makes their life easier, lets them downsize faster. They don't have to rush and move out or ask for kids to help pay bills. So there could be an income replacement component to it. Also, if someone's looking for a death benefit guarantee and they want to know that what they pay for is guaranteed to be paid out, this is one that's important too, because you may outlive a lot of these other products like term insurance that even if it's more coverage for the same price, ain't worth nothing if you're outliving it and it's canceled. Bottom line, maybe one other thing is you want a gift of love. Maybe you got a grandchild or child, you want to help them get started, and you want to give them a little bit of money to get going. I've had all sorts of grandparents that like that idea. They really feel they feel good about helping out, and it's a huge help. And last but not least, I think, and bottom line here for sure, is it's all about peace of mind. People want burial insurance because they don't want to worry. They don't want to take a risk on their insurance. They just want to pay it and know they're covered. So why get burial insurance with no waiting period? So the common reason someone doesn't want to wait 2 years would be the following. So first of all, the question they're going to ask is, hey man, I don't know when I'm going to die. Am I going to die tomorrow? Am I going to die in the next second? There's so many weird, especially with all the bad news these days, so much stuff that happens that normal people like you and I walk down the streets and tragedy happens. Or we're driving to work and we die in a car crash. Or something happens instantly without even prior notice. And it happens to normal people. We like to think it happens to everybody else. But you probably lived long enough to know that bad things happen to good people. That should never have happened, but that's just the way it is. So we don't know when the time is going to be here, when our final day arrives. And we have to be prepared, no matter when the circumstances happen. So that's why a lot of people like no waiting period policies, because they are understanding that life has a way of taking people out without regard to what their circumstances are. They could be healthy in one day and then gone the next. So if you don't know when you're going to die and you want to have protection immediately, well, that's a good reason to own a no waiting period burial insurance policy. Do you like peace of mind? I know I do. I know if I'm going to buy life insurance, I want to be fully protected for the first day. And you probably are in the same boat too, which is why you don't want to wait 2 years. And you most likely like the idea of guarantees. You like the idea of knowing what you see is what you get. I'm a plain spoken, simple person. If I buy something, I want to know exactly what to expect. I don't want it complicated. I want it very simple. I want it easy to understand. And I want it to do what it's supposed to do. With a lot of these other insurance plans, like a waiting period policy, it's sold as the greatest thing ever. But you start reading the fine print, you realize this thing doesn't work, at least for 2 years. Or you buy another policy where maybe you are fully protected, but then it goes up in price and cancels. It doesn't work like you want to. There's no guarantees. So if you like the idea of guarantees, no waiting period burial insurance plans, do that. And do you like to gamble with your life insurance? If you're the gambling type, you should go on and head on down to Tunica. Go on down to Vegas. Go on down somewhere where you can gamble at the slots. That's a gamble. Life insurance should never be a gamble. It should be an assurance of protection. It should give you peace of mind. It shouldn't give you a thrill like gambling does. So if you don't like that, if you agree with me, no waiting period burial insurance plans are sensible. So let's talk about when the best time is to get a burial insurance plan without a waiting period. So again, consider the following. We're going to die, all of us. Tragedy happens instantly without regard to when we want it to happen. You must be prepared. You must always be prepared, whether or not you think you should. Because if you die and you don't have coverage, it's on your kids, it's on your spouse, it's on people you care about. And the last thing they're going to think about is, why did mom do this to us? Why did they leave this behind? They could have taken care of this if they were on top of things. Prices for life insurance only go up as you get older. That's the other thing. Look, if you're looking for a no waiting period policy and you age a year, it's going to cost you more. And it will always cost you more because the premiums must be paid for the rest of your life. So if you're in a circumstance where, hey, it's too expensive now, well, it's going to be more expensive later. So you got to make a decision. You got to make it a priority to buy it now because it just gets worse as you get older. Your health's going to decline. Again, I hate to be the Grim Reaper here, the Debbie Downer, But it's the truth. You know, if you're older and you've experienced health problems, you're going to get less healthy. More problems will happen. I'm healthy right now, but I know as I get older, I'm starting to feel a little bit in my early 30s. But I know when I hit 40, 50, 60, 70, my health's not going to be like it is now. It's just going to get worse. And the recognition of that and understanding of that should help push you towards the idea of why you need to own life insurance today. Because it ain't getting any better, okay? Life has a way of slowly deteriorating. Quality of life, at least. So better be prepared now than later, because it's just going to cost more. And you may not qualify for no waiting period burial insurance. If you wait too long, I can't tell you how many people I've run across that I've had to sell a 2-year waiting period policy to, not because I want to, because I have to, because there's no other options. Because they've let their health deteriorate so badly that the point of where they feel like they're facing death, and now is the time to buy insurance. Well, sure, you can do it. There's policies that will do it, but you're not covered for 2 years. And who's the guarantee that you'll live past 2 years? That's why everybody loves life insurance. Everybody hates life insurance until they really need it. It's kind of the funny thing about it. Nobody likes paying the premium. I know I don't like paying my life insurance premium. I know I'm going to be healthy for a long time. Well, I don't know for sure. That's why I own it. But I feel pretty confident that I'm going to be. My perspective is pretty positive. But look, that may not last. And boy, would I hate myself if I let my family down and did not protect myself and then suddenly came down with acute cancer. I've known people die from cancer in 2 weeks of finding out they had it, and they're in their 30s and 40s. It happens. And you've got to be prepared. And now at your health, even if your health isn't perfect, it's still a good time to try to qualify for, because it doesn't always stay perfect. It doesn't always stay at the same level. It deteriorates. So look, the answer to the question is now. You got to get something now, because the time is now, while things are good, to apply for life insurance. So let's take a look at some rates for $10,000 in coverage. We're going to do just a quick run through of, again, no waiting period insurance. I just want to give you a quick idea of what the premiums would be for different carriers and companies. We're going to look at 55, 65, 75, and 85-year-old rates. This rate showing of you presumes nothing. I don't even know if you're going to qualify for these rates. A lot of these plans, because I'm a broker, I can shop to see who's going to be the most flexible in underwriting and pricing, and a lot of people with health problems can get coverage, first day full coverage. But I can't say for sure if you're going to qualify for them, and ultimately you may qualify for something different. Again, these are just for educational purposes only. So let's take a look, $10,000 in coverage. We'll zip right through these numbers. Again, just kind of introduce you to the possibilities at different age ranges. Okay, so you're looking at 55-year-old non-smoker males, $10,000. So different companies and rates that you're seeing here. So upper 20s to mid 30s is probably what you're going to be paying. If we go to 65, of course, that premium will go up for the same constraints, 10,000 male, 65 non-smoker. Upper 40s to mid 50s is usually standard for no waiting period burial insurance. And then if we go up to 75, you're looking at somewhere between mid 80s to low hundreds, again, depending on what you qualify for. And then last, we'll look at 85-year-olds. 85-year-olds, 10,000. You're looking at 160s, 150s, 160s to 200s, depending on your health and what you may qualify for. Now we're looking at females, 55, 10,000 non-smoker, low 20s to low 30s. And now 65, 10,000 non-smoker female, upper 30s to mid 40s is what you're going to be looking at, depending on which company you qualify for. At age 75, 10,000 non-smoker female rates, you're looking at somewhere between the mid 60s to mid 70s, most likely for 10,000. And then for an 85-year-old female, non-smoker, 10,000. No waiting period policy, low 120s to 160s. So now that you've seen some sample rates and you kind of have an idea of what your options are for no waiting period burial insurance, let me tell you what the process is in applying. It's very simple. In most cases now, insurance agents are not required to see you face-to-face. That's why I operate my business the way I do. I do everything electronically over the phone and through email. Most of these companies have applications that we can email and digitally sign or do a telephonic process over the phone. And if this is something you're interested in, no matter where you live in the country, I can help. I'll nominate myself. I'll be happy to help you out. And the process is very simple. We would talk for 10, 15 minutes tops, introduce each other. I'd ask you some health questions, figure out what you would qualify for, a better chance of what you may qualify for, and then show you a quote. And if you like what you hear and you like what we see, the process next is just applying. I would send you a digital application, or if the company requires a phone interview, we do that, and then see what the decision would be to approve you. And then if you got approved, it usually takes immediately same day. Sometimes it'll take a couple of days, usually no longer than a week or so. After you get your approval done, if it's approved, your policy is mailed within the next couple of weeks, and that's it. You're approved. We set the payment usually up at a future date, so you don't have to take it out immediately, and it comes out on an automated basis of your choosing. So it's very simple to get approved for coverage. It's no exams, anything like that. Simple, basic questions. And like I said, a lot of people with health issues can get qualified for no waiting period for burial insurance. So it's just a function of talking to me and letting me help you out to help answer that question. So final steps here. If you like the idea of applying for burial insurance with no waiting period, 2 ways to do so. You can call me at 888-626-0439. Otherwise, visit my website, buylifeinsuranceforburial.com. You can click the contact box at the top. You can click the message box below. Just send me an overview of what you're looking for and a good way to contact you later. And I hope you like this video. I hope it helped kind of answer some questions to show you what your options are, to give you kind of a taste of where to go with no waiting period burial insurance. If you like the video, thumbs it up, subscribe, comment below if we've got any questions. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.